Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish to use here, and welcome back to another movie review. Not just any movie review, but a Christmas special review. Yep, my pick for my Christmas movie review. And I just wanted to say to all my subscribers, Merry Christmas. I know that it is technically a day late as it's already December 26th. I wasn't able to make this video on time yesterday, but at least that doesn't stop me from actually doing this. It's still technically the Christmas season. So yeah, now I am here today to do my review on the movie I have chosen for Christmas, Klaus. So Klaus is a Netflix original animated flick, and it came out in the year 2019. It actually came out in on November 2019, believe it or not, the same month as my precious Frozen 2, and it's directed by Sergio Pablos, and it stars Jason Schwartzman, J.K. Simmons, Rashida Jones, Joanne Cusack, Norm Macdonald, Will Sasso, Sergio Pablos, Mina Brenner, Sidney Brower, etc. And so the film tells the story of Jasper, a post-mail delivery man student who has distinguished himself as the worst student. And then his father sends him to Smearensburg, a small village located on an icy island above the Arctic Circle, where grumpy inhabitants barely exchange words, let alone letters. He is sent there in order to discipline himself and learn the value of patience as he tries to beg for letters, for everyone. To beg everyone for letters, but nobody is interested in it. Jasper is about to give up and abandon his duty as postman, where he encounters kids who are actually want to write a letter for letters in order for write letters to support Jasper's job. But as it turns out, nobody in Smearensburg is actually educated, which is why nobody writes. So Jasper sends these kids to a teacher named Alva, who apparently abandons her dreams to become a teacher because of what she has given. And so yeah, she but then with the things with the help of Jasper, Alva suddenly becomes a teacher and teaches kids how to write. And then Jasper meets a mysterious carpenter who lives alone in a cabin full of handmade toys named Klaus, who will become the Santa Claus. Yeah, so this is basically an origin story of how kids celebrate Christmas traditionally by writing letters to Santa Claus and all that stuff. Yeah, this movie tells the origin of that. So yes, now I know that I made a community post asking you guys what movie do you want me to review, and you guys majority suggested Rise of the Guardians, and I was actually interested in reviewing Rise of the Guardians. However, the more I thought about it, now it's not that I didn't want to review Rise of the Guardians. I will say that I am a Rise of the Guardians fan. It's just that there came another movie that I was thinking about, and I was like, I think this should be the perfect time to review this particular film. And yeah, so I ended up choosing Klaus instead of Rise of the Guardians. Now you might ask me, wait, Frozen, why don't you review both? Well, it's because this month has been very tight for my content, as I've got I had a franchise reviews series in preparation for a new movie, which is my Middle Earth saga reviews in preparation for The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, and then I left for a vacation for a week after that, and then when I came back, yeah, I had to. I basically was planning to was planning, but I am planning to rewatch some of the 2024 films. I feel like that's a little more important because I need it for my best movies of 2023 list. That I no 2024 list. I mean need I need it so I can properly construct my best movies of 2024 list. So yeah, there's that. And so yeah, I only had time for this one. And since yesterday was Christmas, I decided to just simply rewatch rewatch this Christmas movie right here, Klaus. Yeah, so yeah, that was my pick. I actually did I actually did watch a couple of Christmas movies earlier this year. I rewatched Violent Night, but I actually already reviewed it back in 2022, and my thoughts are the exact same. And then I watched Carry On, which is a Christmas flick of the year, and I watched the best Christmas pageant ever, which I was going to review, but honestly, but after seeing the movie for itself and what it actually is, honestly, I decided not to review that because I just didn't find it to be review worthy. But if you're wondering my thoughts on the best Christmas pageant ever, I'll just say it's the most overrated movie of 2024. It's a bad movie. Yeah, that's the best I'll say about it. And then on the plane, I rewatched. One of the movies I rewatched on the plane was Love Actually, which I used to find overrated, but now I actually think it's a really good movie, and now I can understand why people call it a Christmas classic. And then there's Klaus. Yeah, there's Klaus. So yeah, now Klaus is one of those movies that just came out of nowhere and just shocked the world by how good it is. Yeah, before this movie came out, nobody has heard of this film. Not even me myself. Yeah, this movie was not on my radar. Yeah, yeah, this was not on my radar. But on December 2019, I decided to I decided to watch this movie for myself on Netflix to see where the hype was coming from, and I loved it, but it was not quite in my top. I can't remember if I put this in my best movies of 2019 list or not. I actually don't remember what my list was like back in the days. But I remember people just praising the hell out of this movie, so much so that they'd even say that it kicks the crap out of Frozen 2. Yeah, I will admit that the fans of Klaus are kind of toxic, especially when for those who say that Frozen 2 sucks. If you prefer this movie over Frozen 2, that's fine. That I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but it was kind of annoying when people kept on saying, you should not watch Frozen 2. You should watch Klaus instead. Klaus is Frozen 2 done right. Yeah, it was kind of annoying, in all honesty. But yeah, at the very least, Klaus is a film that deserves all the recognition. But even though I've loved this film, I've always been putting this under the radar for some reason. I didn't really talk about this movie enough. I only liked it. I only loved it because of the 2D animation and because of the actual reviews. But I mean, it wasn't a movie that I was guaranteed to rewatch. It's a movie that I didn't really think about. Heck, when I reconstructed my list of my ranking of all 2019 movies on Letterboxd, this was actually quite low, and it was somewhere in the top 20, not even close to a top 10. So yeah, but of course, but shout out to my good friend Harry Thomas Pictures. His review of Klaus gave me gave me like a chance to like think about this movie again and give it a rewatch. Heck, yeah, Harry Thomas's Klaus review was actually the reason why I'm reviewing this. And before I give you guys my initial thoughts on the film and get to why it's amazing, I gotta say, yeah, sorry, I actually, never mind, I actually forgot. But yeah, anyways, as for my thoughts on Klaus now, I gotta say, I love this movie. Klaus is such a masterpiece. I absolutely adore this movie. And this is why November 2019 is like the best month for movies. Yeah, even though I got the shit like Terminator Dark Fate and that mediocre Charlie's Angels, although it's overhated, yeah, we got films like this right here, Ford versus Ferrari, Knives Out, especially Frozen 2, the best movie of all time. And yes, and yeah, I actually had this quite low on my best Christmas movies of all time list. It was, yeah, but now I certainly would put this much higher, as it's my fourth favorite Christmas movie now. Yeah, it is right up there with Die Hard, Elf, and Rise of the Guardians as some of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. And it is the second best animated film of 2019, secondly behind, well, my favorite movie of all time, obviously. And I gotta say, guys, this is the movie that should have won Best Anime Feature over Toy Story 4. Like, seriously, think about it, guys. Klaus is kind of an independent anime film. I'm not sure if I would call it that, but it does feel very independent. It's original. It's original, and it's certainly a quality movie. Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, screw you, Academy voters, for choosing Toy Story 4. I will never, and I mean never, forgive the Oscars for giving the best anime feature to win for Toy Story 4, let alone even snubbing Frozen 2. Yeah, you know what? The only reason you snub Frozen 2 is just so you can you can give Toy Story 4 the chance to win Best Anime Feature. No, Oscars. Like, seriously. Yeah, toys, like, yeah, I think that the Oscars were so high when they gave a Toy Story for that win. I have never been more pissed off at an Oscar win more than Toy Story 4. Oh wait, yeah, the Suicide Squad's win for Suicide Squad 2016 winning Best Makeup and Hairstyling pissed me off more, but still, I mean, yeah, Toy Story 4 is just winning is just a disgrace. In fact, Toy Story 4 shouldn't even be nominated for Best Anime Feature. If I were the Academy deciding on the nominations, I would freaking snub Toy Story 4 and replace it with Frozen 2. But even if Klaus would beat it Frozen 2 for the award, honestly, it would have been valid. Yeah, but I kind of feel like indie anime films are starting to get a rise out of the Academy. And I'm starting to think that the Flow has a chance of winning a Best Anime Feature, even beating Wild Robots. I still want either Inside Out or Wild Robot to win, but at this point, I'm not going to be shocked if Flow wins, because Flow has been winning a lot of some other awards already. But yeah, oh, anyway, so back to Klaus, and pushing the Academy aside, it is now officially my second favorite Netflix film of all time, second only behind Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. It's actually quite on par with Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, but the thing is, guys, is that Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio just made a bigger impact on me than Klaus did. Klaus is such a beautiful and heartwarming film that's perfect to watch for Christmas, especially since it's basically the origin story of how Christmas for kids came to be, as well as the origin story of how Santa came to be. And of course, yeah, sure, we've seen some movies that talk about the origin story of Christmas and how it came to be, but this film in particular is, this film has a different take, just like all those other origins of Christmas. The animation is absolutely beautiful, especially with the way it uses 2D animation. Like it feels like the actual comeback of 2D animation, especially since that 20th decade has been like dead on hand-drawn animated films. Even the 2020s, we get even the 2020s has a lot more hand-drawn animated films. Released in theaters. Yeah, I know you're saying, oh, but they're just anime films. Yeah, that there's that. But still, like 2010s felt quite empty when it comes to like Western hand-drawn animation. So I'm glad that we got one. Even though it's a shame that it only got a Netflix release, I think this movie should have gotten a full theatrical release. Who agrees with me? Like the animation of this film is so good. It feels like a traditional hand-drawn 2D animation from Disney, from the Renaissance era. That's how the animation looks like. All the main characters are so lovable and well developed. Jesper is one of those main characters who pretty much was a failure in the beginning, but then grew to become someone lovable, someone who learns to appreciate things. You just love to see him hang out with the locals in the town, as he was sent to us so much that he didn't deserve to leave the town. And I know that yes, Jesper started off as someone who did not want to go to Smearensburg, and he was already complaining about it, and he was like, oh, he only wanted to get the job done just to go home and not caring about anyone. But once he actually stayed in the town, yeah, he learned to like pretty much love the people, love the locals, and I think that's a great message. I think this movie is very strong on messages to pretty much try out the things that you don't want to do, and keep an open mind because you may end up liking it, and that's something that I experienced in my personal life. Like I was forced to do something I didn't want to do, but then I ended up loving it. So yeah, so I totally related to the message, and also, and of course we all know that message in this film of doing a simple act of kindness in order to be rewarded. Yeah, it's everyone pointing out that message, but I don't think anyone has pointed out the message of learning to try things that you don't want to do because you may end up appreciating them. Yeah, Klaus may be one of the best depictions of Santa Claus in film, especially with how tragic his backstory was. Yeah, you really feel bad for Santa himself. I still think David Harbour is my favorite Santa Claus, mainly because of how unique he is in comparison to all Santa Clauses. But if I were to make a list of the best Santa Claus actors, J.K. Simmons would actually be my second favorite Santa actor, secondly behind the David Harbour. Yeah, he like J.K. Simmons is so good at Santa Claus that he even played Santa again but this time in live action form with this year's Red One. Sure, guys, I still stand by my thoughts on Red One. In fact, speaking of Red One, I just want to say that I actually would now I now bumped up my rating to a high 4 out of 5. I think that Red One is such an underrated gem, and it's my biggest guilty pleasure movie of all time. And even though I defend Red One, there is no denying that Klaus is the better movie with J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus in every single way possible. And as great as all the voice performances were, from Jason Schwartzman to Rashida Jones to Joan Cusack, J.K. Simmons gives the stand-up performance in the film. Yeah, Margot is so adorable, and yeah, she is she is just so cute. She seems like this character who I just want to give cuddle to, and honestly, I like stores should be selling Margot toys. Like I would certainly buy a Margot toys. Although if there is any nitpick I have with the film, I do wish that there was subtitles provided for what Margot was saying, because she was speaking in this language I honestly have never even heard of. I don't even know if language that she was speaking is even real, or if it's something the movie just made up. Maybe it is real because if it was a made up language, then Netflix would have provided subtitles. But yeah, but I wish that the movie would at least give us a glimpse of what she's actually saying. Yeah, Alva would be my favorite character in the film. Yeah, she is absolutely gorgeous, and in fact, she's right up there with Grilla from Red One and Jovi from Elf as my Christmas movie crush, as some of my Christmas movie crushes. But it's not only because she's hot. That's I mean, the reason on why she's my favorite character in the film is not because she's hot, but I mean, kind of, I guess. But at least she does have a character arc that's enough for me to make me feel like I'm bonding with her. Yeah, she actually has a very similar character arc to Jasper, where where she sees herself as a failure, and then she's forced to do something that she refuses to do. And But then she how do I say this But then when she does it, she actually realizes that she's actually loving what she's doing deep down. Yeah, similar to what Jasper does. Yeah, yeah. Alva was a character who dreamt of becoming a teacher, but then she was forced to move into Smearsburg, where she wouldn't be able to teach the kids, so she instead like opened up her own store. But then when Jasper tells Alva to teach kids how to write, she refused to do it. She refused to teach. But then and even when she was already teaching the kids, she hated. But then deep down, she had a change of heart and realized that she truly loved teaching. That is a character arc right there. And honestly, I would love to have a teacher like Alva. Like, one of the kids said that Alva is the best teacher ever. I actually agree. She is maybe the best movie teacher I've ever seen. And speaking of the kids, yeah, I only talked about Margot, who is the best of the kids, but I also gotta say as well that the kids are basically the heart and soul of the film, and the film's main message is to do a simple act of kindness. Yeah, we see these kids. When these kids realize that when Jesper tells this naughty boy that only good kids get presents, these kids literally would be like, the best versions of themselves. They have a they change so much that they'd even do like some of the most good acts you'll ever see. They literally do their own community service, trying to like help around, like clean the town and do some chores around the town. That is so sweet of them, and you can really feel the charm of the kids. Yeah. If this movie didn't have those kinds of kids, it wouldn't have been the same movie. It wouldn't have had the same impact. And then there's the villain of the film, Mrs. Crumb. She is such a great villain who you'd love to hate. Joan Cusack gives her best performance since Jessie in Toy Story 2 and 3. And certainly the far superior 2019 movie she starred in than you know what. The story, I mean, despite its, the loser becomes, your typical loser becomes winner storyline, the premise of the story is actually very original and with a strong message. It's also quite emotional too, as certain moments did make me tear up, including the end credits song Invisible, which is one of the best songs of 2019. And this is certainly a mature animated film. I know you guys are annoyed with me praising animated films for being mature, but we just need more. We just deserve more animated films like this one. So overall, Klaus is a masterpiece of animation that was robbed of an Oscar win, all thanks to that overrated Toy Story 4. It is one of the most feel-good and heartwarming movies of 2019. Yeah, it is certainly one of greatest Netflix films. Like it is neck to neck with Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio as my favorite Netflix film. The only reason I'd get a slight edge to Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is because it's the movie I rewatch more, and the movie that made me cry more. Made me it just hit me in the feels more, slightly more than Klaus. And yeah, and it is also one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. I thought Little Women was the best Christmas movie of 2019 for the longest time, but now Klaus has taken Little Women's place as the best Christmas movie of 2019. I wish I gave this movie more credit back then. Oh, and can we please get more Christmas movies like this in the modern times? Sure, we got films like The Holdovers, but we seriously need more modern Christmas classics. So like I said, guys, I'm going to give Klaus 5 stars out of 5 masterpiece movie. So also for my review of Klaus, what are your thoughts on the film? Would you agree with me that this is your an animated Christmas classic that should have won Best Animated Feature over Toy Story 4? Would you say that this is your favorite? Would you consider this as your favorite animated film of 2019? Or would you say that or do you consider this movie to be overrated? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and oh, by the way, guys, before I end this video off, I just wanted to say that this is my final movie review of 2024. Yep, guys, so my next movie review is going to be on January. If you're wondering what my next movie review is, it's going to be on Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were Rabbit, in preparation for Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance is Most Foul. And what's my next video, you may ask? Well, stay tuned for my end of the year top 10 list. Yeah, my top 10 worst movies of 2024, my top 10 best movies of 2024, and my top 10 best TV shows of 2024. I'm debating if I should do TV shows, best TV shows, or worst movies first. I'll have to think about it, but I will say that best movies of the year will go last. Best movies 2024 will be yeah. Oh, and also my thoughts on 2024 video I will also do that for sure. So yeah, bye guys.